Deltarune Chapter 5 is officially out, fellas. As we march towards the inevitable end of Deltarune causing my life to lose a good 60% of meaning, let's revisit a topic I've discussed in the past: ranking the game's boss battles. Now, I hate to say it if you don't know, but this video is a continuation of a boss ranking video I did before Chapter 5 came out. So if you haven't seen that, you may want to. It's where I go over my reasoning for the placements of the first 4 chapters in the game. Honestly, I wasn't gonna come back to this. I just have a lot going on right now and didn't really have the time, but then the original video started doing really well months after uploading, so now I kind of feel bad. It's cool though, I'm glad I was given a reason to work on it. I will say, however, if you subscribe to this channel or will subscribe to this channel for videos like this, don't. I recently started a new channel all about Deltarune called Drune. Very creative. There I mostly make covers of Deltarune songs in a Chrome website. Sounds weird, but it's fire, trust. And also I have some high effort videos like this one with more to come. So if you're subscribed from the last video or subscribe off of this video, first of all, thank you. But if you want to see more like this, go to that channel instead. Hooray. How this video is going to work is I will very quickly go down the list, reminding you of the placements, as well as updating the list for any bosses moved around. Spoiler, only one boss from the last video changed placements. And then when we reach the newly inserted Chapter 5 bosses, we'll slow down and start talking about why that boss is there. Quick recap on how I'm ranking these guys. I got 4 categories. Number 1, personality. How much do I enjoy not just the character we're fighting, but the vibes of the fight? Either funny, sad, scary, etc. How the heroes act and develop during the fight count as well. Number 2, music. How's the music? Toby Fox is an amazing composer, so we're being a bit harsher. You gotta be amazing to get a 5. Number 3, mechanics/attacks. How interesting are the objects thrown at us? Does the boss have any wacky gimmicks like soul colors or gameplay changes? Now this chapter is interesting because it introduces the feather, which a number of bosses use, so we'll figure it out. And finally, build up. Does this boss come out of nowhere or does it feel like we built our way here? And that's it. The total score gives me a general placement, but I'm free to move them around as I see fit if the score isn't too accurate to my feelings. This method worked well last time, so no need to change it. Now, who in Chapter 5 counts as a boss? Some are pretty easy, but this chapter has a little wrinkle. It introduces the feather, changing the gameplay from your standard RPG to a 2D platformer. There's a lot of encounters I considered counting as a boss, but I mainly stuck to uniqueness. Aqua's first encounter is more of a tutorial. She launches objects that are seen for the rest of the chapter as regular enemies, so it's more of an enemy gauntlet than a boss. When she teams up with Seth, there's more going on, so that counts. Sorry if you think Aqua's first round or Seth's first round counts, I do not. Chapter 5 boss offerings for this list includes the Recycling Gang. I didn't count dojo bosses before, but they were usually rematches, while this is the first time you fight any of these guys, so it felt right. Aqua, Seth and Aqua's feather fight, Seth and Aqua's regular fight, Aqua taking up 3 spots already. Yellow's gun, Yellow's attempt to blow his own brains out with a comically large firearm, Yellow and Blue, Orange Aqua and Seth, Orange and Green, Pink, the final gauntlet, and finally Flowery. Finally Flowery. That could be a tongue twister if it was harder. Leaving us with a wonderful and thematically perfect 49? What are you? What? You? Come on. Okay, can I add one more? That one guy in the comments of the last video wanted me to include the Clover rematch. So fuck it, sure. There we go, 50. Okay, this intro is long enough, let's get going. Once again, we're gonna speed through the entries covered last time and then stop when we get to a new one or when a boss moved up or down from the last ranking. So if you want to see the explanations for why these bosses are here, go watch the other video. Here we go. Number 50, Mouse Wheel. Number 49, Miss Mizzle. Number 48, Clover. And here she is. Sorry to that one guy who said she was the most important boss in the game. Even though the overall score ended up being the exact same, I like this fight a lot more than the original. Not enough to pass any other characters, but like it's something. Clover herself, themselves, Clover. No, the stupid cat thing. This character is a much more fun enemy to interact with during her rematch. You don't realize how much the Mercy Meter did to improve the gameplay until you compare these 2 fights together. In the original, you're just kinda hoping you pick the right options. With no feedback other than what some of the heads say, it's kinda hard to tell if you're making any progress. Now you get these little percentages telling you how well you're doing. Technically, this is the first fight in the game to have percentages of mercy show up when you act on an enemy, so we can thank her for that, I guess. She is the first boss to have this mechanic because she appears in the dojo, which means this isn't even really a fight in the story, so I can't give it any points for build-up. Still an overall improvement over her original fight because that one didn't have much build-up either, but you know. The attacks are more interesting this time around, including the legendary club attack I lamented wasn't in the original fight in the last video. Look at it in all its glory. So even if the fight being in the dojo hurted a lot, the Clover rematch is a gameplay and character improvement. Also, it allowed this video to have an even 50 bosses, so Low as your placement may be, my appreciation and respect you shall have. Number 46, Wear Wire. Number 45, Task Manager. Oh boy, it's feather time. As I said earlier, Chapter 5 introduces the feather, turning the game into a Smash clone. The feel of the gameplay here is incredible. Toby and his team genuinely deserve some praise for not only being able to switch between gameplay styles so often, but also making them feel really good. I take a full game in this style. There's a lot of those, I guess, but, you know, like, whatever. Also, being able to act with Susie and Rouse to either do big damage or cling on to stuff adds some fun gameplay variety. It's hard to rank the bosses that use these, though. They still have the fun characters and build-up of a normal boss, just with wildly different gameplays, so mixing them in with the others is difficult. Well, except for one. I'm sorry, Yellow. This first fight is all style and no substance. Partway through the left side of Asgore's castle, you come across some blue flowers. Mess them up, which is impossible to avoid, and the giant enemy gun appears. It's cool how it references the Omega Flowery attack, but they all do that at some point, so like whoop-de-doo. It's a standard feather fight, long enough to be considered a boss, but Yellow is not around, so we don't get fun interactions with him. The gameplay is cool, but it's cool in every other feather fight. Music's just Rooter Buster again. Good fun for sure, but there's stronger fights to be found elsewhere. Number 43, Shudda. Number 42, the water coolers. I counted them together, I didn't care. Number 41, K-Round. Number 40, La Nino and El Nino. Number 39, K-Round again. Number 38, Arcade Queen. Number 37, Biggest Hater. I gotta talk about the feathers some more. It's so cool, man. The way you quickly flow from traditional Deltarune gameplay to, oh, we're in Hollow Knight now, is just so seamless. It makes you realize how far Toby's come as a game designer. I'm so glad we're in Deltarune. If we had to go back to Undertale, I'd be so upset. No, not down the hole, not down the hole, no! Despite being the first real boss that uses the feather, I'm kinda struggling to say anything about it. It introduces Seth and slowly starts bringing in the idea that the flowers are heavily motivated to love Asgore and be loved by Asgore. Obviously something I'll talk more about later, but hearing that they really care about him, that they really are just lost kids who only have Asgore, it's kinda sad, but also heartwarming. Again, this gets developed more later. Now we treat these flowers like the golden ones and land on them Undertale style. The goal of this fight is to use Rouse's and Susie's axe effectively. Drag the glasses down to give yourself an opening to attack. Pretty standard stuff. That's kinda all I have to say. This fight's cool and all, but like, I don't know. Wouldn't it be better if like, I don't know, there's like a mouse? This is it! This is what I was talking about! There's a mouse now! The cool thing about Chapter 5's bosses is that pretty much all of them have some weird combo with the flower characters. I love seeing them interact, not only as characters, but in battle as well. Now that Orange is in the mix, we can see how she tries to help out to prove her strength, but all it does is piss Seth off. Probably because it's actively ruining their attack pattern, but like, she's trying, okay? By the way, I love Orange's hand shadow puppet design. Her section is probably my favorite part of Asgore's castle. You know, aside from the obvious. Her little faces when stuff goes wrong and nobody takes her seriously are great. Seeing her react to the fight in the background gives this fight a lot of points. Other than that, it's pretty much the same thing as last time, just with Orange reacting like a Markiplier video this time, which changes it up enough to place higher. So many new bosses in a row. Let's keep this trend going and get another feather flower fight. What are you fucking kidding me? Okay, fine. The world's most popular trio, Harry Nipple, Oarsman, and Birdly, all team up to show you who's boss. There's a lot to love about this fight, the gameplay, the variety, and... Is that the fucking freedom motif? Toby, I'm gonna kill you, dude. I'm not even kidding. I joke, but this is really funny. There's still room for the freedom motif to be relevant, okay? At the end of the fight, MatPat comes in and is like, I thought I heard someone using the Batat motif. Batat is the name of his minigame. We know that because the Dark World uses video game mechanics and Rouse recognizes rules theme, that it's likely the songs in Deltarune are playing in-universe, at least in the Dark World. So this song, Airwaves, that plays during Batat, is probably playing diegetically. This song includes the freedom motif, right? So Green Pippins heard this and assumed it was his minigames theme. The trio either heard this too or heard him talking about it and wanted to use it as well, thus making him angry. But you know who else appears during Batat? Someone who has ties to the actually relevant uses of the freedom motif, the secret bosses. Image Friend. I don't know why he's here, but he wants to be, okay? The freedom motif may be Friend's theme. Green Pippins thought it was his, and the Trash Gang stole it. Totally. That's why. I mean, really, it's another friendly jab at the fan base for taking motifs so seriously, which I just demonstrated. But like, whatever. Okay, next. Number 30, oh wait, shit, I didn't talk about the boss. It's pretty fun, nothing too special. It is essentially a dojo boss, even if not in the dojo itself. It's fun to clear up the trash, but I never understood the catch trash one, it just never worked for me. It's cool seeing all the trios come in at the end and then leave because rules is rules. It's fun, that's all. The freedom motif overshadowed the fight for me. I'm a Deltarune theorist, of course it did. Number 33, rules. You know, they all hate him, but he won in the end. Number 32, Titan Spawn. Number 31, Lancer. Once and for all, we take the fight to the flowers. Does this count as a boss? Probably not. Oh well. The final confrontation with every flower, combining their strengths and attacks to hold on to their dream as tight as they can. It's the last time for a number of things. The last feather battle, the last flower battle, the last time we see these characters interact with each other, and the last time we see Yaoi. Until next chapter. It's not just a combo of every flower's attacks, we got some new stuff in here too. Yellow's big hat forces you along a path, Orange gets a chance to do some real damage. Enough for me to count it as a boss. I'm gonna be honest, I initially ranked this fight a lot higher because I think in my head I combined all the interactions across the whole area into this fight. None of the flowers really say anything aside from Orange, so oh well. Still a good final test. And since there are no unique bosses to show off the feather like the Shadow Mantle for the board mechanics, this is the trickiest it gets. Tricky enough. Could have been a bit more though. The music isn't unique to this fight, but man is it a banger. Running Sky. I don't know what else to say about it other than climactic. It gets you pumped up to storm into the fountain room and show Flowery what's what. Still not a unique battle theme, but it's a banger. Kinda like this fight. Just wanted a bit more character from the, well, characters. Number 29, Birdly 2. Number 28, Sweet Cap and Cakes.
Dark, darker, yet darker. Chaos, chaos. Big shot up. Penumbra phantasm. Fun value. The Roaring Knight. Hammer of Justice. Snowgrave. Genocide. Shadow Mantle.
I want to punt Aqua across a football field. With love. As the first introduction aside from Flowery to Asgore's 7 flowers, Aqua definitely warmed me up to them right away. Just a little bean unaware of the issues of the world, just bouncing on everyone's heads. Unfortunately for the fight itself, it runs into the La Niña and El Niño problem. The rare case where a boss fight with them is right away, and learning about her character and her interaction, story arcs, blah blah blah, come after her, so the fight can't really take advantage of that. Still, the way she mimics Chris and everything they do, the way she joyously swings around knives, and views everything as a game, gives me enough to want to punt her across a football field. With love. It's just the attacks themselves that make me want to punch her across a football field aggressively. It took me a while to figure this one out, but I realized you can just look at the top ones and line yourself up with them. It's not too bad. Then her Omega attack. Which, by the way, sick name. I know Toby was cackling all these 10 years knowing that the Omega Flowey attacks would pay off. This one is way harder to dodge than the Flowey version though. I guess it's because you have less room, because I find myself getting trapped on the bottom pretty often. Still cool though. Yeah, it's just a really solid boss fight. If I had to pick a boss fight that shows off all the strong elements of the game without doing anything amazingly, it would probably be this one. Oh, also the music. It's pretty good. It plays during all the flower boss fights, which is fine by me. Makes sense. It's nothing amazing, but it builds nicely, represents them pretty well. No complaints. Yeah, surely Aqua is done with boss fights. You won't see her again. For sure. Number 26, Birdly 1. Oh my god, okay, Aqua, I love you. Piss off, you're in every single boss fight. But yeah, this fight's good. Aqua and Seth's interactions are underrated. Aqua's so dumb and naive, and Seth is just trying to keep her focused enough to help at all. That's what most of this fight is. We try to do our standard acts, but Seth just counters them all by doing them better because they're sick like that. I also love the part where they just throw the Mercy away, like, get that shit out of here. And that Seth does actually check which Aqua attack he got hit with more in the last battle, and asks her to do more of that. Their little eye tracker thing is a bigger threat than you would think, especially on the big sword attack. Eventually, Aqua prepares her strongest attack, one that will end the fun gang for good. I don't know if you've ever seen what happens if you get hit by this, but it's glorious. The fight finally ends with Seth all alone, forced to use their own Omega attack, causing them to get dizzy. It's not like an amazing fight. I don't have too much to say about it other than just say what happened in it, but it's a solid fight. Love Aqua and Seth. Good music again. Fun gameplay. Yeah, hooray. Number 24, Mike.
Friend inside me is real. Praise friend inside me. He's gay?
Man, I wrote down all the bosses, and even I'm surprised that like 90% of the Chapter 5 fights are just some combination of the flowers. Not that I'm complaining, again, I love seeing these guys interact, and this is probably the best fight to show that off. The focus of this fight is a series of Ace Attorney-style court hearings. I assume. I never played Ace Attorney. In concept, it's pretty fun, but what hurts it a lot of the time is that you don't really have all the information. For the first one, you can easily figure out it was Seth by the way they're acting, but as for the evidence and issue, crushing a Floridin with a book is missable. Same for the blood one. Yeah, Aqua outright admits that she did it, but she'd probably admit to assassinating Abraham Lincoln and not fully understand what that means. There's no real mystery to solve, it's just guessing until you get it right based off their reactions. We had a whole room to gather evidence, and to be fair, Aqua is the only one in that room, but for like 2 seconds, okay? If we're gonna dedicate a boss to Ace Attorney, I just wish we went all the way with it, is all. Despite that, it is really fun. Green is the GOAT, as per usual. The ending is nice too. Yellow and Blue's interactions are cute, really wholesome and fun. When Yellow tries to kill himself, straight up pop a fucking bullet into his skull. Blue calms him down. They got a great dynamic. Yellow constantly suicidal, Blue replaces the bullets with flowers. Love is epic or something. But yeah, that's about it. Again, same music, flower power, etc. Hopefully we're done with them for a bit. Oh, for fuck's sake. The final random flower combination boss fight is orange and green. I'm gonna be honest, green hard carries here. I love green. The part where they just casually give a sick fist bump to Susie, that's my goat right there. Orange is here too, I guess. This is the strongest flower fight gameplay-wise for sure. Orange has a really epic and sick Omega attack that they can only use after they get a quick bite to eat. Get that bitch some in and out. Green is willing to help with that, but she gives you a chance to stop the food before it gets fed to the rats. It's fun. I wish there was a bit more variety. There's just the straight down ones and the bouncy ones, but that's okay. It's a fun balancing act, trying to hit the green ones while avoiding everything else. The attack you get hit with for missing a food 5 times could have been stronger too. It's like Banjo's attack from Smash. What do you mean I only get 5 of this mid-ass move? It makes sense, orange is the weak one, but still. Again, same music, blah blah blah. Good thing this is the last regular flower boss, I'm running out of things to say. Also, did Rase seem a bit out of character for the whole orange segment, or is that just me? Number 21, Spamton. Number 20, Lancer and Susie. Number 19, Rules Again. The difference adding one suicidal flower can make. I know I'm not alone in saying Yellow trying to end themselves over and over was the highlight of Flower Castle. That sounds terrible to say, but like... yeah, I got nothing. Yellow's attempts to deliver justice all don't feel justiceful enough, so he's just gonna do it himself. Also, Aqua is here again. Aqua, your friend's about to die, stop throwing knives, please. There isn't too much to say here, truthfully. It's the ending to the funniest bit in the chapter, the gameplay is really fun. Having to hit this target quick enough while dodging a bunch of other attacks is great. I just wish the timer was a bit tighter, it's really easy. The music is not the same as the others for once. It's okay, I don't really have any strong feelings on it one way or the other, it's just a good song, I suppose. Yeah, glad Yellow's alive. Anyways. Number 17, Birdly from the Snowgrave route.
I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This whole situation feels like the new version of Tenna. The fanbase hyped up this TV man as the scariest dude of all freaking time, and then he's just a goofy goober. The Chapter 5 secret boss is going to be the final Shadow Crystal holder. It could be anyone. It could be Friend, a demon who watches from the shadows. It could be an actual evil TV this time. It could be a flower with the same psychopathic mindset as a familiar flower from another life. Who represents lost freedom, broken dreams more than anyone? Who else will be revealed to have had their mind shattered upon learning horrific information? Whose life would have fallen apart? Who would it have affected? The final Shadow Crystal boss could be all or any of these things. What monster or tragic figure will we face? Are we dead ass? Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku, yeah sure Toby. Ask for a pink and yellow cat as the next secret boss and the monkey paw curls. Where to begin? Let's start with gameplay. For the first time on this list, our soul changes colors, purple, restricting us to 3 lines for movement. Sometimes this area of movement will change. Sometimes it's a plus design, forcing us to go to the center before diving for another safe zone. Sometimes we'll be forced to move up and up to avoid a deadly border from behind. And sometimes, we'll use it as a dating sim response selector. Sure, man. The expansions on the soul gimmicks from Undertale continue to be simple yet very impactful. While this one doesn't add any new gimmicks like a charge shot or diagonal obstacles, purple just changes how you're able to move every second attack. And you gotta adjust quickly, alright? She's got like 30 pipe bombs coming straight to your house. Later into the fight, you have to navigate the soul to a response in a dating sim, which is definitely unique. In all seriousness, it is a great new angle for the purple soul. It's all about abruptly moving from one point to another, like selecting options from a menu. Speaking of those dating segments, maybe it's time to talk about Pink herself. It feels mean to compare her to the other secret bosses, but it is fair, right? Pick a secret boss. Any secret boss. They'll have deep connections to the Dark World and the people in them. Jevil used to be the court magician before going mad one day, forcing their best friend to lock him underground. Spamton was a salesman who found success with the help of a mysterious benefactor, then slowly turned mad, probably due to that outside force, after already pushing all his friends away, leaving him nowhere to go but the streets. The Shadow Mantle guy spends his time hidden in the shadows, manipulating a game to dig deep into Chris's trauma. potentially using a neglected shopkeeper who only cares for Chris's happiness for their own twisted goals. Gerson spends the chapter in his son's church, writing a letter full of things he never got to say to him when he was alive, using his time to inspire Susie, give her the strength that she will need. And then Pink. I don't know, she's here. You see what I mean? She pretty much has no connection to this dark world. That's by design, it's meant to be a big surprise reveal. But your competition is some of the most compelling, tragic, and terrifying figures in the game. Don't get me wrong, there's not nothing to Pink. Her just being a Lightner who I guess stuck in Asgore's shop to possess the doll at some point, and just wants to live in this new body is sad in its own way. She's clearly not comfortable in her original body and is just trying desperately to make this new one work. Probably not an allegory for anything. It also ties into Chris and their possession. The spirit and the body both want different things. They fight throughout the battle until they both end up worse for it before deciding to work together. It's clearly meant to show Chris what happens if you fight against it and accept it. It's a little different for us. For one, Chris is questionable. They could be part of the reason why we're even here. Also, the soul could pull a Snowgrave, and then this whole just work together thing isn't helpful advice. But it's something. The issue is, if you're gonna be a secret boss that wants to make a thematic point related to Chris and their possession, you lose to Spamton. I'm sorry, you just do. They're doing different things, and they succeed at both. One is a positive example, one is a negative. But you lose. Still, I promise this fight justifies its existence. I just want to explain why I think she's the weakest secret boss. She doesn't tie into the world at all, she kinda comes out of nowhere, her relationship with Orange is weak at best. Okay, I'm being mean. Let's get positive again. The ending sequence where you need to tell her to keep going while avoiding the negative options is really fun, but also compelling. Again, it's a great evolution of the Purple Soul gameplay-wise, and represents how choosing the right words to say is difficult, and being too quick can lead to worse outcomes. Or at least that's what I took from it. I'm sorry, it's really hard having these conversations about how sad everything is with Miku going ham in the back. Man, this song is intense. I was never into Vocaloid, not that I'm against it, it's just not my thing. But it's good here. Not my favorite battle theme, but works for what it is. Also, yay, the freedom motif is back. Piss off green pissins. Also, her design is just really cute. Massive improvement over the Undertale one, my god. That's all I have to say. It's a really good boss. A lot of fun to fight against, says a lot of interesting stuff. Just, you know, you can train your 8-year-old son to be the greatest wrestler in the world, but if their competition is like heavyweight champion, it's not going well. Although we all know Pink would kick Spamton's ass in universe, so take that for what you will. And then, moving all the way up from 17th place on the original list, with the new additions it would have been around like 21st, down to 15th, is... I'm not going to go into too much detail. I just want to say I didn't give enough credit to how well this fight set up the creepy atmosphere. Almost a fourth of the chapter is spent building up to this fight. It's terrifying. That and the fact that whoever is running this ship, we'll see them again. That's really exciting. They're creepy, they have all this knowledge on Chris and the story. Like, what are they doing hinting towards Snowgrave? How do they know about that? Why do they want it to happen? I don't know. We'll find out later, I guess. But yeah, that's all. This fight went up a decent amount since I made the OG video. Hooray. Number 14, Jevil. Number 13, the Titan. Number 12, Susie. Number 11, Queen. And now that we're in the top 10, let's slow down a little and appreciate every single one. The best of the best. I'm sure there's one you're still curious about. Where will it go? Number 10, King. Number 9, The Knight. Number 8, The Sound of Justice. Number 7, Jackenstein. Number 6, Giga Queen. Number 5, Spamton Neo from the Snowgrave route. Number 4, the Hammer of Justice. Number 3, yeah, I'm shocked too. Number 3, the final boss of Deltarune Chapter 5 is only beat out by 2 Tumblr sexy men. Flowery is an interesting character. At first I wasn't the biggest fan of him. I saw him as less intimidating as King, less funny than Queen, and a less emotionally interesting character than Tenna. He beats the Titan, if that counts for anything. But while I still think those are all true, comparing him to the other chapter bosses and their specific strengths isn't fair. Because, yeah, he's not as scary as King, funny as Queen, or even, in my opinion, as interesting as Tenna, fight me. But he's unique. It's the first time in the game where fighting someone isn't necessarily right. Flowery, the Light World version, along with all of his friends, are alive. They're flowers. It's established in this world they are probably more aware than real-life flowers. They can dream, they can feel at least a little, yet they aren't as conscious as Lightners. So Flowery and all of his friends sit in their glasses long past their expiration date. Forced to watch the man they care about, who cares about them above anything else, lose it all. His family, his career, even his mind. They can't speak, they can't act, they can only listen. Until this fountain was opened. Now they can do all that, and they spend all their time trying to make Asgore happy. Pay back the kindness he gave to them. Show him that their love is more important than whatever he's worried about. They will snap him out of it, unlike his real family. And that's what Flowery's fighting for. His autonomy. His mind to keep caring for Asgore. That's beautiful. Flowery's such a divisive character because he's such a pompous douche in the first half. He breaks the rules, he teases Rouse, everyone loves him. I thought he was going to turn into some giant flower monster by the end. I don't know, I wanted to kill him. He was funny, don't get me wrong, but it's hard not to agree with Rouse. But knowing all this, is closing his fountain really the moral choice? Why should we keep our fantasy at the cost of his? Cause the knight exists, they can summon a titan in here and kill all of you. And if it's a numbers game, a lot more people can live in Castletown than here, but like, I get it. You could make all the arguments you want for why Castletown is more important, and there's a moral discussion there. But it doesn't matter. Flowery only has this one. So we gotta push through him. His boss fight, finally, is incredible. Randomly, for no reason, and making up for the fact that Chapter 3 didn't have a new soul mode, Flowery makes you orange, the color of bravery. With it, you can charge through any obstacle. Hang on. Hold on. This shit finicky. It's fun though. It's just harder to manage than the other soul modes. At least for me. Also bullshit Rouse, you can't tap it. I ain't stopping his Dorona unless I charge, you're a dirty liar. It's harder to dodge than it would be thanks to all the flowers standing by his side. This is the first time you aren't helped by any of the recruits you collected. Despite making friends with not only the random enemies, but all the flowers, so did Flowery. And he's fighting for them, so they join him. He could even begin to recruit Susie and Rouse, except he doesn't try beyond this. I don't know if it was just a visual gag, but it's not really clear. It would have been a cool gameplay mechanic to fight against his sparing attempts, but oh well. So here we stand, ideal versus ideal, way up high, in the sky, with the sun in his eyes, ain't it nice? This song is fucking amazing. Not even kidding, it's giving Big Shot a run for its money. You can just feel Flowery's emotion, his desperation, his Dorona, his belief that he's the one in the right, that he has to win for his friends and for Asgore. This playing as we fight with this in the background, it's wonderful. It all ends with Chris attempting to outrun him, both meeting face to face at the highest point in the kingdom. Summoning his friends, using their power, he becomes Omega Flowery. Nice. And using the feather one last time, you counter and counter, finally clashing with everything you've got. Then it's over. My god, the ending of this fight, along with the song, makes me want to just run through a brick wall. But okay, why isn't it higher? Sorry, these last two fights are just too special to me. Plus, as I said, the orange soul is a bit janky. But I'm serious, this fight is fantastic. It might even get better with time as the chapter ages. When Chapter 5 is out of the spotlight, I think people will look at it, ironically, in a new light. Same with Flowery. We'll just have to wait and see. And finishing us off is number 2, Tenna, and number 1, Spamton Neo. Still the GOAT. Chapter 5 couldn't top the list, but it could rumble the leaderboard. Third place ain't bad. There's still 2 chapters to go. I'm telling you, a fight against Susie without the baggage of mid-gameplay and the boon of a whole game of build-up, that could do it. An otherworldly encounter with a demon or certain winger dinger? If done right, sure. Or maybe all it will take is a fresh face to touch my heart in a way the homeless man couldn't. We'll just have to see. So thanks for watching. Again, if you like this and want to subscribe, first of all thanks, but don't do it here. My other channel, Deltarune, will have more of what you want, I promise. Not much more activity here in that regard, unfortunately. The only reason I uploaded this here was because part 1 is uploaded here, but the next update will probably be there, so be on the lookout. So yeah, see you in Chapter 6. Or sooner. Until then, have a good one.